So I'm here to explain how to build a coral tree for use in your underwater coral nursery. To start, you'll need regular PVC pipe for the coral tree stem. We use 1 1/2 inch thick PVC. The PVC that we use comes 10 feet in length, so we actually cut it in half to make each piece 5 feet, which ends up being the height of our tree. So one of the first steps is to cut our 10-foot PVC pipe into 5 feet to have the desired length. So that's simply measuring out the PVC and marking a line for that point. So we'll start at one end, we'll go to 5 feet, we'll use a Sharpie to then draw a line. So once that's complete, we'll then use a table saw to saw in half. It's important that you use a PVC approved blade. So safety first. So I have hand, eye, and ear protection. So plug in. You will simply line up your mark with where the blade is going to make contact. Firmly hold the PVC. Turn the blade on, and then saw the PVC in half. And you're done. Now that we have our PVC pipe, the next step is to measure out the distance between the armholes. There's 10 arms in each tree, 5 alternating with each other. Each arm is 5 inches apart. So we go and we measure every 10 inches for the alternating tree branches. I'll show you here. So we start from the top of the tree and mark our first 5 inches down to signify the first branch. So I simply put a dot there. I will then go 10 inches down for the next alternating branch. Mark that dot, another 10 inches down. So those are the first 5 arms. We'll then rotate the PVC stem to then fill in the alternating remaining 5 arms. So starting from the top, I'll go 15 inches down. 10. Then from there, I'll go 10 more inches down. Another. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 armhole tree for the tree with a 5-inch buffer at the top and a 10-inch buffer at the bottom. So once you have your armholes marked with the Sharpie, you'll then simply drill them. We use a drill press with a 1/2-inch drill bit to drill the holes. So we use gloves to secure the PVC. We'll simply line up the drill bit with the pre-marked holes and then drill them. Okay, so once you have all 10 holes drilled for your tree arms, it's then time to make the caps. So because this is 1 1/2 inch PVC, we have 1 1/2 inch caps. So you simply need to drill a hole through the top like so. So I'll demonstrate. You'll again use the drill press with the same drill bit. Make sure to wear gloves for appropriate grip. You'll then place the drill cap underneath the drill bit and drill the hole. Like that. Okay, so after we have our PVC stem ready, next is to prep your rope. We use polypropylene rope. specifically 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch because of its tensile strength. This is important for both everyday wear and tear, but also for storms, and can hold up to 750 pounds of force. So you'll want about twice the length of your PVC stem in order to have room for tying buoys and knots, so 10 feet in all. So I'll measure out the first 5 feet. I'll then create the loop. Measure out another 5 feet. And then cut. And as you'll see, when we cut, the end is fairly frayed. So every time we cut new pieces of rope or line, we'll actually burn or singe the end to make sure it doesn't unravel. So simple lighter. And if you burn the end, it will seal all those separate braided lines. If you'd prefer, the same result can be achieved with a zip tie, a simple cable tie. So you'll wrap it just south of where that frayed end is, and you'll pull it tight to ensure it doesn't unravel. And you'll snip off the remaining tail. So we have the zip tie, and we have the burnt edge, totaling 10 feet. Once you have your rope ready, you'll simply add it to the PVC tree. So you'll go through one end, you'll thread it all the way through, until it comes out the bottom. Once it comes out the bottom, you'll then add those caps that we prepped earlier. So you'll thread the cap through the rope, to then attach, and you'll do the exact same on the reverse side. So you can see that you have spare rope on both ends. So once we have our caps installed and our rope threaded through the stem, the next part is to actually assemble the arms. So when we reference arms for the coral trees, they're actually fiberglass rods used for cattle farming. So it's typically fence post, but it works beautifully for the coral nursery structures because they have these pre-drilled holes through the fiberglass arms. These are fiberglass, so if you'd like, you can use gloves to protect yourself, or just be very mindful. So once you have your tree, you will then locate the pre-drilled holes, and you will thread the arms through. So you will eventually secure with a zip tie, but I typically do this at the end. You will see that they have this staggering orientation, which allows you to stack as many corals as possible per structure. So once you have the coral arms installed is when you'll secure them with the zip ties. We use simple cable ties that are about 8 to 11 inches long and 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch wide, depending on what holes you've drilled into your PVC stem and the fiberglass rod. So you want to make sure the arms are equal in distance, so you can count out the holes to make sure that they're paired evenly and then secure. All thread the cable tie through one of the fiberglass arm holes, wrap it around the PVC stem, back through the other fiberglass hole so that both ends are then coming out the same side, to then zip tie and secure. And you'll see now that that PVC arm is firmly in place. Okay, so once you have your 10 arms on the tree and secured with the zip ties, you'll simply trim off the extra tail to make sure it doesn't interfere with any of the corals that the tree is housing. This is a good opportunity to double check that all of them have been cinched down because you want it snug.